it's Nicole with Realty Masters, and today I'm here with Danny with Bugmeisters, and we are at a house that has termites, unfortunately. So we're going to talk about getting a termite bond, why you need a termite bond in your Florida rental property, and how easy it is to overlook termites, as was in this house.
Yeah, Nicole, this is a great example of a house that has termite damage. We don't really know if we've got activity. It's awful cold outside right now, and when it's cold like this, sometimes you don't have the activity, and we don't go tearing into wood. But this right here looks perfectly fine, but you can actually, you hear that? I mean, yeah, I don't want to do it. I mean, there's just pretty much a paint layer right there. If you walk into the closet here, you can see that somebody already did dig into this, but this is termite damage along this baseboard. And again, this, you can see how, and then we've actually got them coming through the ceiling right here. And you can see where the dirt is coming through. So what's happened is, these things usually will follow the studs, and bam, they've gotten up into the rafters. As far as damage goes, you really don't know how bad it is until you start ripping out some drywall. Once you start ripping out some drywall, then you're going to find out how bad it is. Sometimes it can be really bad, and other times it's surprising how minimal the damage is. Well, I want to show you something that I brought with me. It's actually a carton nest, a piece of a carton nest that we got out of above a window. These are subterranean termites. They're connected to the ground. Their colony is in the ground. But if the conditions are right, they can actually have a colony above the ground without connection to the ground. So all the treatment in the world around the foundation isn't going to take care of aerial colony. Like on this right here, we don't really know. So what we're going to be doing today is, along with the standard treatment, subterranean treatment around the exterior, we're also going to be injecting a foam up into the ceiling where you saw the dirt up in there.
Okay.
And then that way, if we've got any activity up there, they're going to take this and they're going to take it back to the colony. And even if there's an aerial colony, we'll be getting where that aerial colony is at. As far as what we're doing here and why we're doing it, again, these are subterranean termites. This wall right here is the wall where we had the termites coming through the ceiling. We drilled some small holes in there. You can actually see it right there. And we do that every other brick around. If the house is a complete brick house, we do that around the whole house. If it's just here where we've got a brick veneer on two sides of it, of course, guess what? This is where we're having an issue at. So we've got to get that chemical not only on the exterior of this brick, but we want to get it behind the brick also. And so what Casey's done is he's gotten in there, and you can actually see where the little dust from the drill holes came. And so we've got a different little applicator. I'll take that off. I'll put a little different applicator on it, a little short one, and bam, we'll do the same thing behind the brick, and we'll get that at the same rate, at 4 gallons per every 10 linear feet. We got a little tip on it, which see how it fans out like this. Now Casey's already trenched this whole thing, so we're going to be coming in. We're going to be applying 4 gallons of termiticide per 10 linear feet. So he saturates that in, he backfills the soil. We end up doing and digging a little trench as best we can. With these bushes, it's a little bit difficult, so we might end up having to do some long riding, which is just another application, another method of getting the product in the soil, and that's our main objective. We want to get the product in the soil, because when the termites go foraging through the soil to make their tubes, they're using that dirt to make their tubes, and they'll end up getting this product on their bodies, transferring it back to the colony, and killing off the colony. But this stuff will last in the soil for up to about 7 or 8 years. They say 9 years. We're going about 7, and truthfully, we're retreating houses at about 6 years. Okay. And that's to make sure that we've got product around the foundation. That's where doing a preventative termite treatment is very effective, because these guys, they do fly in, they do shed their wings, they go down in the ground. If you've got a termite protection around your house, then it's going to kill those things, and they're not going to be able to get a foothold. We call them termite service agreements. Sometimes they're known as bonds also. Legally, in the state of Florida, we call them termite service agreements. Let's take this house, for instance. So we do the initial. This is what, about 1,200 square feet, 1,300 square feet. So normally you're going to be looking at about $1 a square foot if you price the house out. Normally, that's going to land about correct for an initial treatment. So that initial job is guaranteed for 1 year. After that year, you have the option to renew. As long as you renew, then after 6 years, then we retreat the house. We just charge half the cost that we normally do. The annual amount on that to renew that on an annual basis on this particular house is $185. So they pay $185 a year after the first year. And then as long as they're paying that, we come back, we do inspections, we make sure everything looks good. Any kind of retreatments are included on that $185 a year, that annual. As long as they're paying that, the 6th year rolls around, bam, we do a complete retreatment on the house for just half the cost. So let's take it at $1,000, bam, it'd be $500 as long as they're paying those annual renewals.